I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to stop yelling, well, at least for this episode. So I'm going to be as calm as a cucumber during this Superman review.
Ed's like, I'm the only one that liked this movie. I've seen it 4
No,
times.
I'm the only one. Yeah, exactly.
No, I said no because I yell at you guys all the time. Remember that one episode we were in a fight?
And it's a problem.
No, it's not.
And
It's not
a
even in the
problem.
episodes. You do
See,
it.
I'm already
in
raising my
general.
voice. I'm already raising. See, I know.
Like,
I'm
I
raising my
feel
voice
like
there.
every text you send me is like
aggressive.
Luis,
caps.
you have like a tone in your texts.
I
and
do.
It's like when it comes across, it's like I don't think you realize it, but it is very hurtful.
I don't realize that. Sometimes I say
Especially
things and
for
people give me a look as if
insecure.
I've hurt them. I don't mean it.
Like you,
I think I'm very
like,
intense.
Like if you said the phrase like "good for you," it kind of really
Good
comes
for
across
you.
like "good for you," and you're like,
Oh, if I did that, okay, lower voice. If I did that, I would have just italicized it to be like that. If it's not italicized, it's genuine. Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where 3 friends, 3 amigos, 3 bambinos come together to talk about nerd shit. This week we are talking about Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn. We are going to be doing that later in the episode. So if you want to jump to that portion of the episode, just go down to the comments section and you can zip on over there. But typically in this podcast, we talk about news, what we're into, and that's what we're going to do right now. Guys, let's talk about the news. My name is Luis Gonzalez, and with me is
Miguel Sanchez.
and Deadpool.
All right, I'm going to be calm and collected in this episode. Guys, we're going to do Coming Soon Corner.
That's not going to be the case.
The Odyssey. Homer's The Odyssey is getting a movie directed by Christopher Nolan.
Nolan's The
And
Odyssey.
no, there's an IMAX trailer for this thing. Let's talk about it. Oh no, that's the trailer. You're talking. Is this about the movie being
I think
released
it's
a
just
year in
the
advance?
news. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, okay, my bad.
it's under coming soon corner, not the trailer talk.
You're right. You got me. Damn it, you are a god among men. So yeah, the
You're
Odyssey.
a meta-human.
Homer's God amongst men.
3 centuries ago, Ed arrived. So the Odyssey. This is like the first time I've ever seen anything like this, where a tickets for movie is in a year in advance. It started circulating through Reddit.
Yeah. It's almost like Christopher Nolan, and I mean, I know it wasn't his decision, but it's almost like Christopher Nolan didn't learn anything from the pandemic. Like,
What?
because he was so adamant about releasing Tenet,
Yeah.
and then,
Okay.
the studios kind of fucked him over and stuff. What I'm saying is, like, anything could happen between now and the release date of this actual movie. Why the fuck are they selling tickets for it already?
Well, obviously it's only for the one format, and it's the one that's like the most unique, and it's like hard to get. So they're trying to like put it out in advance. You buy concert tickets. You buy concert tickets a year out. You know what I mean? Like this is an event that they're trying to sell.
Okay, I mean, sure, I get that to that extent.
I think the fact that we're talking about it right now is already proving that this stunt advertising PR
that's our
trick
job.
is working.
That's we're here on the podcast, and we're supposed
That's
to
true.
talk about that stuff. But the average moviegoer isn't gonna.
Did you ever see Sin City?
Yeah,
You look like Elijah Wood in Sin City.
You do look like Elijah Wood.
not the best character in that movie. Yeah,
I didn't fucking say he was the best character. That
he was
you
a
look
cannibal and liked to eat prostitutes. That was that.
I guess the
ASMR.
question is are we getting tickets for the Odyssey?
No.
I don't think this one is anywhere near me, so I don't think that's gonna happen.
I've said this a million times. I don't even have like a true IMAX screen. I definitely don't have the 70 millimeter whatever. So I just automatically scratch those out. Like I'm not gonna be able to go to that unless I travel. You know,
right? What's funny enough is I potentially could just wait 2 hours before the movie starts and get a good seat, or I could just book them now a year in advance.
You've been a big fan of that. Jeffrey put you onto that.
Yeah.
Jeffrey got me onto it. Yeah, you just wait 2 hours because AMC A List will send you a notification, and it'll be like, "Hey, are you still seeing that movie?" And then you can decide yes or no. And some people say no, and that's when you slick in.
That's wild. I definitely do not get that.
I mean, it's nice that you get that, that option, I guess, near the time. I don't know. See, like my movie going, like Superman, for instance, I booked a month in advance, and I booked it on a night and a time where I was like, okay, that will be a safe
right
period. But like I said, a year in advance, that's...
I think I might just do it for the bit, but also like this movie isn't covered under AMC A-list either. I think this is the first
So you
time
have to
that's ever
actually
happened.
throw
I
out
think it's
some
just because
cash
it's
for
a
it.
year in advance. You can't just hold on to a movie for that long.
Right.
So the Odyssey, this staying calm and quiet is killing me. So we're going to do trailer talk after the hunt. Miguel, you put this on here.
I did.
What's
Yeah,
after
he
the
did.
hunt about?
Yeah, it's a movie where it sounds like it's like a big like thriller or whatever, but it's what's surprising when you watch a trailer is it's like really tongue in cheek. It's about a little kid who is left alone in his house for the day. It's like the dad left thinking the mom was home, and the mom left thinking the dad was home. And the kid is running around his house the entire time, and he's hunting the kitten that they just got. And it's what happens. It's like a big metaphor.
Who's in it?
The little kid is it's actually all AI. The little kid is it's like one of those really bad like AI Instagram reels where they're talking, their lips are moving a little faster than their voice, you know? And then they're very like thorough with their syllables, you know. And it's a really interesting project. I'm really looking forward to it. After the hunt,
Who's the director?
You know it. I know it. This is like the one Wes Anderson movie I'm looking forward to. I thought you guys knew this. It comes out November 32nd this year.
Yep.
All right, let's move on over to Summer Movie Wager.
No, now I'm curious. What is it? What is it?
Yeah, and you put this on here after the hunt.
Everything you just said was wrong. Okay, so this is like the new upcoming movie from Luca Guadagnino.
Oh,
Guadagnino. We all like him, Miguel especially.
Challenges.
He just last year he had the movies Queer and Challenges come out.
Yep.
And now he's out with After the Hunt, which follows a college professor who finds herself at a personal and professional crossroad when a star student levels an accusation against one of her colleagues, threatening to expose a dark secret from her own past. Starring Julia Roberts. How do you guys say that girl's name from The Bear?
Shit, I do know this.
Edi
Gathegi.
Okay.
Eddie Berry? Shit.
Eddie Berry?
Oh, my voice is getting hot.
Eddie Berry.
Eddie Berry.
Try and pronounce it, Louise. And then Andrew Garfield, Michael Stuhlbarg, and Chloe Sevigny.
So you can say Sevigny, though.
Yeah, I mean, raise your hand if you watched the trailer.
I did.
I try not to watch trailers for movies anymore. I like to be surprised.
Yeah. Well, you would have been really surprised if you went into this thinking it was a Wes Anderson film.
Io Adebri.
Adebri?
That's what she said on this video on YouTube.
That's what we were saying the entire time.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how we made it sound.
I didn't know this was Luca Guadagnino directing this film, so I just watched it and I was like, what the hell am I watching? And then by the end of it, I got locked in. It just seems like Luca is just, writing a mad blog post about how millennials and Gen Z suck and how we just need to grow up.
Oh.
Is basically like...
Are you serious?
There was a lot of language of just like I'm offended, and they're like, sometimes you need to be offended, and then it's like millennial versus Gen Z. Like, well, you do this, well, you do that, and then it's like the Gen X and older, they're like kids, you know what I mean?
Not us, am I right?
Yeah. And then there's some accusation happening.
In the context of a Luca Guadagnino film, I think that only offers exciting prospects. You know what I mean? Like, Luca Guadagnino doing a fucking tennis film ended up being...
I loved it.
Oh, it's 10 out of 10. Would see again.
Meme of the year.
Miguel, I really am lost on where you stand with that film. Like,
I
when
loved
you
it.
first saw it, you were just like, I didn't care for it. where at the
No, I
end of
didn't say
last
that.
year you were like, I love it, and now you're referring to it as if like, oh, it's a great fucking film.
I
As
never
if you
said I
didn't like
didn't
it.
care for it. That's misrepresentation.
Let's take it back.
I loved that movie. I
I've
had a
got that
great
segment
time.
right here.
I did mention
No,
I did
no.
mention the theater experience was a little so about my
Right.
personal theater experience, but the movie was good. And
Okay.
I'm a Zendaya fan until the day I die.
Zendaya's on this
Until the
movie
day
though.
you die.
No, I know, but I'm talking about challengers, and I'm not going to be misrepresented. Okay?
Hmm.
I'm gonna go back and listen to that episode.
No, you're not.
But like, you know, Julia Roberts. When was the last time you saw her with a, let's say, top tier director?
It's been a
Just for
while.
fun, let's say top tier. Yeah.
I don't know. The last movie she did, she only does top tier directors. What are you talking about?
That's not true.
She did
talking
that
about?
Ticket to Paradise movie with George Clooney.
She also did that detective one where like some kid was found in the dumpster. You know what I mean? Or wait, am I thinking of somebody else?
No, you're thinking of someone else for sure.
She was like, "We got to find out who this is." Bum 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 bum.
Just so you know,
let me
that's every crime thriller movie.
Oh, yeah.
Every
okay?
crime
You're right.
thriller
You
with
could've been a little
somebody,
less-
you know, like-
Somebody died. Anyway, who are you dating? Oh my god, are you gonna break up with them? The romance of the century. Two cops come together after a murder to decide their fate.
I love this. Now, and at some point in this podcast, you have to do a fake trailer. Okay, you have to like make us
Done.
believe you watched a fake trailer. Okay, you can do it.
Okay, I could do that. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
But
Are you
yeah,
gonna see this one?
I 100%. I think it's a cool cast, very exciting cast. I thought the trailer looked fun. And yeah, what's not to get
Here
excited
we go. What's
about?
not to like?
I will say this: I've been surprised recently, where like I haven't watched some trailers that we talk about on the podcast. I'll give you guys the space to do it, and then I will see that trailer before a movie because I've seen a ton of movies lately.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
I'm keeping track.
oh wait, that trailer was actually really good. Like right before Superman, Ed mentioned, what was that Leonardo DiCaprio movie? Something about
Oh, One Battle After Another.
yeah, one battle after another. And at the end of that, he had mentioned it, but I hadn't seen it yet. And then the trailer played, and I was like, "Whoa, that looked really good." So it's kind of
Yeah.
fun. It's like, oh, like I like to be surprised.
I
when
appreciate
go see the
that.
movie,
You know, yeah, I can get that. There are trailers that we avoid, like up until this last weekend. I was avoiding the Superman trailers and stuff like that.
absolutely, yeah.
So I was like averting my eyes or whatever. But then, yeah, there are those trailers.
I
What
think
was it?
I think it's fun
I
when it
hadn't
sneaks
watched the
through.
trailer. I wasn't excited for it, but the first time I saw the "Now You See Me, Now You Don't" trailer, I was like, "Oh wow,
Did you
this
like
looks
that?
like shit."
Oh,
No, I
okay.
didn't. I was
I was
just
about
like,
to say, I was like, oh my
I was
God.
like, no,
surprise.
no.
What a surprise! It looks like. How is this still a franchise?
You know what's funny is we saw that in front of what movie was it? I think it was like Elio or something, because my son talked about that trailer.
Oh,
after
weird.
The fact.
Interesting.
He was like, "Oh yeah, Now You See Me, they're magicians." I was like, "Whoa, dude, you were really paying attention." That surprised me. But that's the same thing about the Eddington trailer. Like we talked about Eddington on the podcast.
sure, yeah.
But then when I finally saw it before 28 years later, I was like, "Whoa, that looks really good." I'm glad I kind of just wasn't like locked in on the trailer, so I could be surprised before the movie. It made the movie experience a little bit more fun,
Yeah. And we talk about a lot of different, like a vast range of different kinds of trailers on
Yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah.
And we do it, if anything, to let people know, like, hey, these trailers, these movies
They're
from
coming
these
out.
directors or these stars, whatever, are coming out.
Yeah.
If you hadn't heard already, we're that middleman. We're just trying to enlighten. So if you liked Luca Guadagnino and you liked Queer or Challengers
Or Andrew Garfield. Or
or
Julia
Andrew
Roberts.
Garfield or Julia Roberts, and you're just like, damn, where's she been lately? Or the next thing from Edi, say it again for me,
That's
Luis.
right. If you're excited for
Uh-huh.
that, then you can go check out this movie that comes out in October, I believe.
October 10th.
Your birthday,
yeah, brother.
Bubba.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lucky.
So now we're going to do the summer movie wager. This is where we just talk about
Wow, I
like
felt
the
like just
summer.
quiet, Luis.
Flying through this
I'm
episode.
I'm trying so hard to not be yelly.
No one likes it. No one wants it. So
I thought people didn't like the other one because I listened back to that
We
episode
like
and I was
it.
like, God damn, that was annoying. You know what I mean? I felt like we lost some viewers with that last one.
You know,
I mean,
episodes
but we're like episode 169. If they're not on board now, fuck them.
I guess you're right. The summer movie wager. I know. I'm just gonna try it. Summer movie wager. This is when we try to guess what movie is going to be where in the box office.
Sure.
As we all know, I was the champion of last
Yeah,
year's
My
summer
God.
movie wager.
My God, Luis, my God, it's the way you just pull it out of nowhere, like a fucking, like a cartoon character that just pulled it from behind its back. You know what I mean? It's like, was it back there the entire time?
Absolutely.
Do you have like
it was
a
in my
hook?
inventory.
You have like a hook
know,
for it?
just
Yes, exactly. Jesus Christ.
I wish
Sorry,
I could hold
Luis.
it up like this. So we're just basically going to go over what movie made the most money. Basically, number one, Lilo and Stitch. This guy isn't moving. $415 million. And then big gap here. Jurassic World number 2 at 243. How to Train Your Dragon 242. Number 4, another big gap here. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning 194. Thunderbolts 189. Superman 155. Then F1. Then Final Destination. Then a big dump.
Superman has to go way up.
Superman's gonna bust up for sure. It's at
It's got
155.
this whole weekend ahead of it with not a lot of competition.
Very smart to like have this 2 weeks before Fantastic
A little
Four.
breather. Yeah.
It's at 155. It's definitely going to pass Mission Impossible's 194, and I think it could probably pass How to Train Your Dragon 242.
I need that to happen as well.
That would be nice.
And then at the bottom two is 28 Years Later with 66 million, and Elio at 65. You know, movies in this top 10 usually are not under 100 million. So, the industry is doing great. And then, funny enough, this week, we have only 2 places to announce, a first and a second, and that's it. In first place, it's Benny and myself. And in second place, it's Eddie and Miguel.
We're both tied?
Yeah. It's
the first and second place are both tied? Wow.
Yeah, both tied. So there's no third or fourth. It's just 1 and 2.
You know what? That's okay.
Good.
I said this previously. I had a couple weeks during the summer now where I was number 1. I was tied with number 1 one time, and then I was number 1 on my own. And it's those small wins that I will just hold on to. Okay.
I feel like this has been the most erratic summer movie wager. Like I've never seen it bounce for. Yeah, a lot of shifts. I like it.
Yeah. It's like every week I check it. Like we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think I've shifted much. I'm comfy at the bottom of the. This is not my year, guys. I vibed and I don't know what I did. It's just not my year. I even with like Lilo and Stitch on my fucking list, Miguel is somehow doing better than me. I just.
I think I had a couple.
That's not to diminish you, Miguel.
No, I felt like it. It felt like
you had Final Destination. You had 28 Years Later, both of which performed better than I anticipated. Megan 2.0 didn't perform.
I should not have put that on my list at all. That was not good.
That is
I'm
unfortunate.
still got like a slim sliver of hope with the bad guys, hoping that it just makes more than those 3 movies. You know what I mean? There's guys. I gotta hope. Come on, give me some.
I'm
hope.
surprised that Bad Guys 2 even came out, but here we are.
I remember saying
like 100
when you were like Bad Guys 2. I remember saying, "Is this a bit? Like, are you being funny?" Because it just. I tell you what, Forrest, my son is super excited to see it. So,
I trust that all the kiddies are going to be excited to see it.
He has not stopped talking about it. So,
I mean, at this point, I only had it at number 10. Good God, Ballerina underperformed.
Yeah.
Fuck, 57. That's not good.
That's
58.
rough.
Let's round up for her. 58 million. Jesus. And it came out in June 3rd or 4th.
Anna de Armas.
Yeah, I thought Karate Kid Legends was going to make it. That poor boy made it at 40.
Oh, Matt, see, there's another one. That's another one.
That was a fucking mistake. Both of them. Ballerina and Karate Kid, I had them on my list.
That just wasn't the vibe this summer. You know what I mean? But I think in other summers that might have worked, Like there was something fun. I did have a friend who took his son to see Karate Kid, and he said, "Oh, that was a great time. We had a lot of fun." And I just think that maybe there's too many movies this summer that are just like way too big, and then these little ones that would maybe have some legs to run in other summers just are kind of getting pushed to the side. Like Ballerina on paper should work. All right, the John Wick universe, that should work. Karate Kids, I mean, the fucking what's
Legend?
the show on Netflix?
Oh, Cobra Kai.
That was a popular show, but not at this point. You know what I mean? If they had done the Karate Kids movie 2 years ago, maybe, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. This is all one of those like hindsight things where it's like, okay,
yeah, exactly.
Right,
We're going through the motions. Something's predictably hit. Like Jurassic World hit. I just didn't think it was going to hit this well. And Formula One is still making money. Like there's still room for that. But
Formula One's my
underestimated
twisters.
that, you know.
It's sticking around. I mean, I just looked at the theaters yesterday to see like what movies would be fun to see this weekend, and it's like, okay,
and word of mouth really helped that movie.
Absolutely. F1 still has a ton of showings. 28 years later, it still has a good amount of showings. Obviously, Jurassic World.
But Jurassic World is already about to be pushed on digital and streaming.
Well, yeah, but they knew what they were doing too, though, because they gave that extra run before July 4th. They were like, we have to make this money.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Wait. And I think they're coming and streaming when? Were you Rebirth?
They've announced it already. It's coming up, though.
Oh my God, this movie just came out.
I know. They did not hesitate. They were just like, guys, the word is bad. So let's hurry this puppy up.
I was listening to the podcast where I talked about it, and I wish I had been a little more coherent about it because it was bad, but I wish I would have been a little more like organized with my thoughts because it just...
I think you adequately...
I was just jumping around a lot, but it's not good, but it's also not good for reasons. You know what I mean? And not just because I was having a bad time, which...
August 5th, you'll be able to get it on PVOD.
Okay, you just... Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to find that for you.
Oh, I just Googled it. I just said Jurassic World.
But that's pretty quick for one
PVOD.
that just opened July 4th. That's a month after its release.
That's insane.
I mean, and we've seen that before in the last couple of years where like these movies get pushed fast.
Yeah.
And it's just like there is no window anymore.
It's like they understand perfectly that the people who are maybe tired of the franchise were probably holding off to watch it at home. Despite the fact that it made money, it's probably going to lose money. You know what I mean?
Sure. I don't think this one's going to make $1 billion. Like,
Fuck no. It's already like running out of steam.
It's the franchise itself is exhausted, and but yeah. Anyway, so Luis and Benny, they're tied again. I think we keep saying Benny is unofficially a part of this ranking.
Unofficially, he will always be unofficial.
But
so Luis is winning.
I think it really depends on who is winning because now all of a sudden Luis is like, no, Benny's not official. He's not this and not that. Let Luis get last, and he's like, well, no, Benny can be on it. Come on, man, guys, it's okay. He worked hard. Okay. No, Benny came in strong.
I'm low key nervous about it, but you can go to our Instagram and look. We have a link. Check the bio, as people say, and then you can click it, and then you can follow along.
You know what we should do when we get really big, like maybe next year. We should have people make our own rankings, like make our top 10 summer movies, and we should just like go based on whatever the audience tells us to do.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay, interesting.
And it's like we have literally no control over it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like our wives, SOs, they do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's like, hey, here's a list of 20 odd movies that are coming out this summer.
I love it.
Rank them how you will, and that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
It's like it's our 5-year anniversary. Is it our 5-year anniversary? That can't be right.
Fuck no.
2022. No, it's our 4th.
We're getting there though,
right?
You guys.
We started 2022, right?
2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thanks for watching the podcast, you guys, where we learn how to count.
With our
I'm doing Duolingo on. I'm doing math on Duolingo because I feel like I'm losing that part of my brain. So I'm just trying to keep up with math and adding.
Yeah, man.
Because when you put a 7 in there, 47 plus 53. No, that's a good one. 47 plus 106. Ooh.
That throws you off a little bit. I get that. There are some numbers that you're like, I can't see the pattern.
The 7 is the worst one for me.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting. Weirdly 7 is the multiplied is something that I've always. I think I had to hammer home so much as a kid.
Yeah.
That 7 is like
what's 7 times 9?
63.
Nice. I love a times 9.
No, wait, that's not even right. What am I talking
It's
about?
not.
Yeah, that is right.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
63.
9 times 7
It
is
is.
63.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
good job. I was like, I don't believe him at all.
I love a multiplication of a 9. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Okay.
Well, that's I mean, because you just take
You
the
just go back.
times
Yeah, it's
10
like
and take 1 away.
Ed, what's 7 times 12?
84.
Damn. All right. Good job, Ed. We're doing the most basic.
I know. I mean,
Have you seen
I'm
those
not-
videos where those kids are like, they're like adding all the numbers?
yeah.
Like it's like number, and then it's like, you know what I mean? A trillion
Yeah.
and 5, and you're like, oh shit.
7 times 12. 85.
Carry the one.
I don't know how they do that. I don't think that's right. Honestly, I don't think that's right.
No, it's okay.
So now we're gonna talk about what we're into. We're getting very close to Superman, y'all. And really, I only wanted to say for this because it looks like y'all
We're
didn't.
bad friends.
Oh, I
into
forgot about
anything.
what we're into. Yeah.
I've been into Superman 3 times. You know what I mean?
I'm in. So it's this new pod. It's just not new at all, but it's the podcast, Bad Friends. It's the one that's got Bobby Lee and Andrew. What's it? Santino.
Okay.
I clicked on it. I clicked on it for one reason because I always find their TikToks and like they're always super funny to me, and they feel like my type of energy. So I watch it and I'm having a good time, just like putting in the background while I'm like doing dishes, doing laundry. You know what I mean?
I love that. I have seen the clips and I like the clips, but then sometimes I'm watching and I'm like, I don't know if I like that guy, Andrew Santino. Yeah,
Was he a bad friend?
Hilarious. I just think like there's something about his vibe that gives what's his name that's on the other podcast. He's got that kind of like Hitler haircut.
What the
I
hell?
want to say his name is also Andrew. My God, he has that podcast where he like gets conservative dudes on. Tires,
Armchair expert.
No,
Smartless.
but I could also talk about that guy. I have
right.
a lot of no. Shut up for a second. I'm almost there. Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz. That's,
I don't know who that is.
Look up Andrew Schultz.
He sounds like a cartoonist.
Well, he's not. He's a comedian.
Like you look at the bottom and then it's like
Sounds-
Andrew Schultz and it's like a funny S.
there's
you know what I
just
mean?
this like there's like this little crew of, and it's gonna sound like I'm saying this, but whatever. There's like straight white comedians,
What
And-
are you saying?
and they all just kind of like fit a certain vibe. And sometimes it's really funny, and I can watch the clips, and sometimes I'm like,
Oh, sure.
I don't think I'm really vibing with what you're saying right now.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. I feel like Andrew is self-aware. He's not like trying. He's not like, you know.
I'd like
Like
to
that.
think a lot of comedians are self-aware,
Well,
but then
yeah,
again, maybe not.
some of
I
them
guess.
aren't.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's this
Well, that
podcast
was
about?
fun.
You know what I mean?
That was
Sorry.
fun. Bad Friends. Check it out. No, I mean you actually don't. That's for me. I don't want anyone to listen to that. That's
Like
my
when I
guilty
send
pleasure.
links from the basement yard, like I feel like those two guys are not the same type of
The
podcast.
Basement Yard. Let me look them up.
It's those two dudes.
Those are the two guys who just riff on each other. all the time.
It's too much. You send that too many times. You gotta stop.
I don't. I will send more. Okay.
Don't do it.
I think they are hilarious because I
I
feel
I
like
You
do
just
think
wanna
they're
be
funny.
them.
I feel a kinship between
That's
both
true.
of them. Like a part of me
Yeah.
is the one guy that's like he's like too masculine for it, and then I feel like the
Yeah.
other guy that's like no, very in touch and silly.
He's like a bromo and wants to.
Yes, he's like, why aren't we fucking? And I'm like, I say that to Ed all the time.
Yeah.
They have
Why
1.8.
doesn't this just happen? Let's go.
They have about 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, they're great.
So-
They're funny. They're about to play Madison Square Garden. Isn't that
Fuck
insane?
off.
Isn't that fucking
What does that mean?
insane?
What does that mean? Like, as a podcast, they're going to play Madison Square Garden?
Yes,
That's fucking crazy, dude.
that's what I'm saying. They're huge.
I'm about to be
They're huge.
depressed.
That'll be us next year, guys. What are you worried about?
They've been doing it for 15 years.
I need
so
to be
we might
making
have-
money out of this
They've been
podcast
doing
straight
it for
up. I'm going to be
15
honest.
years?
Yeah, the original guy, 15 years. He had another partner, and then that other partner
Oh.
left, and then the guy Frank joined, and that's kind of where they took off.
Luis, what did you just say?
Oh, thank you, Ed. Thank you for noticing me. That makes me feel good.
I'm sorry, I was in the middle of speaking. I
afraid
didn't
it
was
was
trying to be
something
rude.
dour.
No, it's okay. I'm going to go to my therapist and talk about it. So don't worry. I have a weekly session with her.
Can I just start talking to you guys, and then you take my problems to your therapists?
I talk to my therapist about you all the time.
Let's see who comes back with the best
No.
solution.
Well, I do say my therapist, like, thank God I have this podcast. It's the one thing that's keeping me sane. That's not true. I have my beautiful wife in this house. But you know what I mean?
You meant like outside of the obvious, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Like my health, obviously, things like that, you know. But
Yeah.
my current economical situation. Let's talk about Superman. Superman is directed by James Gunn, and it's starring David Corenswet, Nicholas Hoult, Rachel Brosnahan, Nathan Fillion, Edi Gathegi, Anthony Carrigan, and Skylar Gasondo, and also, what's her name from The Last of Us? Can somebody help me with that?
You were in the middle. Were you just rattling off those names? I thought you were reading them.
Isabela Merced. No, I was reading them. Isabela Merced.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Well, imagine if I could take those. And this movie's about Superman.
Yeah. I got a request.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay super calm.
I took the time to actually type out some thoughts.
Perfect.
And if I feel like this conversation is about to go where it's about to go, I'd rather get my thoughts out.
Okay.
And then
you
guys can hack it to pieces all you like.
I'd like to go after you if that's okay.
I would also just like to point out for me is that Ed tends to go first. And I know this because
that's also true. I was kind of
you go on and on with your thought and the very first where we're like, let's have our first quick little thoughts. And then you'll say all of the thoughts that everyone wants to say. And then it's like, how do we follow what you just said? Okay.
Honestly, I don't mind it if it takes the pressure off of me because it's like, oh yeah, that is what I feel. You know what I mean?
I'm the opposite. I'm like, no, I have things I'm gonna say.
I gotta steamroll this bitch.
That's why I go last.
See, I always thought it was like a thing, like let's wait for Miguel and Ed to sound like idiots, and then
no.
And then Luis can fly in.
I'm afraid. I go last because I'm afraid. You know what I mean? So
I just want to say before one last thought is I have a scheduled.
Well, hold on,
text
Ed's gonna go first.
No, I understand. Shut up. I have a scheduled text that's going to go out in 11 minutes.
Oh God!
And whether I get to my thoughts beforehand or not, I just want you to know I've had this text scheduled for 4 or 5 days now. I mean, it's been a while.
Do you like that feature?
I do, and you are going to get this text in the middle of this conversation, and it will open up a world. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I mean, sure.
I'm only mentioning this.
At this point, it might as well be like, guys, I'm Superman. That's all it needs to be.
You don't know. I also mentioned that because later I'm going to bring up.
You applied that chapstick. That was nice.
I totally forgot that Luis and I have a bet going, and I also wanted just to make it clear that I have previously scheduled this text before I even remembered that we had this bet going. So this is important historical information. I'll tell you when we get there.
Motherfucker. I hate you too. Anyway, all right. I'm going to preface this by saying I've officially seen this movie 3 times all the way through. Twice in the theater, one...
Thank God you're here, Ed.
In a dark alley somewhere. I also saw it, the first time I saw it was opening night, Thursday night, in IMAX, which was jam-packed. At least several people were actually decked out in Superman gear. I don't know about you guys, but like to the nines, like the new suit and everything. Anyway.
The new suit? Sorry, I'm getting lost.
Yeah. The Corenswet suit.
Are you talking about the one in Fortnite? The Fortnite Superman suit?
In the movie that we're about to talk about, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's from Fortnite.
You talking about the dog from Fortnite?
Yeah. The dog from Fortnite. All right. I want to start by saying I think this movie captures the spirit of Superman, the character, I think perfectly. Whilst I don't think this movie is the singular tentpole Superman movie that perhaps I was hoping for, this is everything else that James Gunn promised in that it introduces his Superman in what is most definitely the James Gunn style, whilst throwing us into this pre-established world of pre-existing characters. We thought I think we all agreed it looked very busy in the trailers, and it is very busy, and at times a little messy. It's a lot to take in at first. The movie literally throws us into a universe, a story, relationships, and a conflict all at once in the opening act, and it doesn't really let up from there. And I think that, at least for me, that may account for most of the problems with it. Because of just how much this movie is trying to establish in a considerably short amount of time, which was 2 hours and 9 minutes.
Yep.
The movie, for me, again, just loses some opportunities and misses on some notes along the way in those relationship beats, especially between Clark and Lois, Superman and Lex, revelations about his parents, which I'm sure we'll get into. They just don't get as much fleshing out as they should, or as much as I would like, anyway. The action is a bit of a mixed bag also. I feel like it definitely hits those tropes of a very CGI heavy third act, but it's kind of that way the whole way. We'll get more into it, but I could have done without Joey, the Minecraft river, the clone, etc. And in some cases, the better action moments, which arguably are some of the highlights of the movie, fall on other characters other than Superman himself, and ultimately that loses some of the weight and gravitas that usually comes with a Superman movie, as pretentious as that may sound. It feels like a DCU movie starring Superman more than anything. But beyond that, some issues with action and characters. Overall, I loved the feeling that this movie generated and how it presents Superman. Someone who doesn't have all the right answers or do the right things always, but his intention is always pure, whether saving people, his dog, or indeed a squirrel at one point. And he's just there to protect the world, and the emphasis of that here really works for me. It doesn't preach anything so hard beyond the fact that this is Clark Kent. This Clark Kent is a good guy trying to do the right thing, naive or misguided though he may be. David Corenswet is solid, I thought, as the character, genuine, earnest, a likable guy. I like, and actually some dimensions to him, unlike previous Supermans. I really enjoyed Rachel Brosnahan, which is honestly like my first foray into her work.
You would love Marvelous Miss
Maisel.
No, it was the first thing I thought of, but man, I'll just say, oh boy, yes,
I've been excited.
No, I enjoyed her. I really enjoyed Nicholas Hoult. I just wish there was a bit more time with him and them really to add some weight to these characters and their relationship with Superman, instead of just monologuing at the beginning and the end. But as I say, the look and the feeling, the contagious, uplifting feeling that this movie generates is what ultimately won me over. I see you shaking your head, Miguel. My theater was buzzing that opening night. I will say the second time I saw it, my feelings were slightly, less.
Interesting.
And that may have been like the audience buzz, but you could feel the energy in the room that opening night.
That's good.
I do feel like you can feel the hope, and there are a handful of scenes where this movie really sings to that very spirit of Superman, with some lovely comic book flourishes and imagery that make it a little bit special. God damn it, Miguel, I hate you. You can already sense the division of the movie generating because people have preconceptions of how this character should be portrayed. Hugh Snyder,
like Joker
fans.
too.
And as I do, but for me, at the very least, this movie is a fun, funny, mildly well-established and well-intended Superman film about hope and belonging, and I ultimately had a good time with it. And good night.
Damn, I want to clip that out and just make a separate video with that. You know what I mean?
No, that'll do numbers because the internet will eat that up.
I think that might be nice. I might do that.
Do it.
Thank you, Ed.
I'll just spit it back out.
We'll get some socials, and then Ed will be like, "See, I was right." Okay.
Yeah.
And
then he's going to start performing in Madison Square Garden.
And we
2 nights in a row.
You know what I mean?
No, he'll be saying that speech twice. Friday night, Saturday night.
Thing he runs on. It's okay. I like it.
No, I love it. Thank you so much for being so clear and concise. Well, clear and it's going to be helpful for me when I go, because I'm going to be not clear. Miguel. All right, it's before 8. It's before the hour, so you'll be able to.
I'm editing the time just to simply send it.
Why don't you just send it now?
Just wait till 8.
No,
or 9
it's okay.
or 10.
It's okay. It's in 1 minute. It's going to come out, and that way Ed can see it and he can roll his eyes the entire time I talk.
I'm not going to look at it. In fact, I'm going to close my messages app, and then I'm going to turn it off my phone.
I will say again, I'm so glad it's about to send, because it's been sitting at the bottom of my messages, and I'm just like, I cannot wait to not look at this anymore. I would say this, Ed, you bring up a lot of really great points. And if you hopped on the internet in the last week, you would have seen a lot of those talking points. And I would say that it is a very popular movie. And if you, there it goes. If you, had anything other to say about this movie other than what the run of things you just said, people were very dismissive, calling you very like, oh, okay, Snyder bro. And it's like, that's not what they were saying, but okay. And then it was like, oh wow, you just must be a Republican. It's like, that's hurtful. Okay. I will say,
but you are right, Miguel.
Yeah, no, Trump 2025. Yeah. 25, 26, 27, just forever.
Forever.
We're not voting anymore, so it's fine. Guys, I think it's interesting that Ed said the second time he felt a little less about it, because I watched it for a second time and I felt a little better about it. When I watched it for the first time, I walked out of that theater going, man, I think I hated that movie. It just was not for me. And what I realized right away was James Gunn and his vision and his directing style is not for me. You guys know I'm not a super big Wes Anderson fan, so if I come out of a Wes Anderson movie and I say I didn't like it, a part of that is you going, but you also don't like Wes Anderson movies. You know what I mean? And I think that's what was happening here for me. He's making all of these James Gunn choices, and yes. It's just like, oh, you know what? I just don't like those. And I think that's really, when I walked away from it, what was my problem. As I thought about it for the next few days, and then I watched it again, I was just like, okay, I don't think it's the actors are doing anything that I don't like. I think the actors are all like really well cast. They're all doing exactly what they are being tasked to do. I think it's just a script issue for me. Again, a tonal script issue for me. There were moments that absolutely shine, and I did have a good time. And again, watching it again, I was like, okay, I appreciate this a little bit more. One of the things that I did not love the first time around was like how bad like Superman just gets beat throughout the entire movie. Like he never really feels like.
Are you saying that's what you didn't like about it?
Yeah. The first time I watched it was just like, man, they set up that Superman's been here for 3 years, and then the very start of the movie, it's like this is the first time he's ever lost a fight, and then he loses basically every fight the rest of the movie until the end. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, that just is not what I imagined Superman in my head. But to Ed's point, preconceived notions, right? Going into it, you go, this is what I'm expecting to see. And on the second viewing, what I was realizing was like, okay, he started being Superman when he was like 27 years old, I think is what they said, or what they alluded to was around there, 27.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, if I think about myself as a 27-year-old, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm like a full-grown adult. Like I'm 27 years old, but I was also still 25 at heart. I was also still like 22 at heart, you know?
Yeah,
like I was still learning. I was still growing into who I am today, and as I am doing, you know, in my current life. And I realized, okay, this Superman has growth. There is an arc potential. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at the Superman that's leading the Justice League right now. I'm looking at a Superman that is like figuring out his life. And
he's not a perfectly formed
exactly
that we all know.
Exactly. And this is like the pre that. And so the second viewing really kind of calmed me down a little bit. I was like, okay, I see it. So really what it's really boiling down to is I just don't like the direction of this particular movie. And I imagine James Gunn is going to keep directing the Superman movies, but Maybe there's going to be a potential for like a Justice League or whatever movie where it's like this is the new director taking over, and it's going to kind of like fine tune Superman in a different lens. There were moments that I'm just going to continue on the train just very briefly. The moments that didn't work for me is I just like I'm going to get some hate for this, but like the whole like I'm Superman and I'm kind, I thought was kind of like lame. Like I don't know why like kindness is lame. I don't think that's true. I think it's good to be kind. I think it's good to be a good person. But it was something about just like really beating me over the head with it that I was like, I get it. He's a good guy, you know? But I just was like, a little whatever. The other thing that I really did not like was and this was like just a story choice, but like Lex Luthor being like 1A, 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 like his whole fighting style is like typing in codes on a computer, and the guy goes, he's got 2,500 predetermined codes and he knows them all by heart or whatever, and I was like, loser, you know what I mean? Like I did not resonate with those choices, because in my head I'm thinking Superman should be really hard to beat and Lex Luthor should be this formidable villain. And while they were at different times those things, I just never really felt the drive. And again, it was the second viewing that really made me go, we're not there yet. Okay, and there's a reason why he's getting his butt beat, you know, because it's like he's not Superman yet, you know. The moments that really worked for me, first off, Rachel Brosnahan, phenomenal. She's a great Lois Lane. I think David Corenswet is a really great Clark Kent. His Superman is still winning me over, but I think they're very well cast and they have wonderful chemistry. I think the moment that we've seen in the trailer where the kid, I know we kind of make fun of it because like we say it all the time, but when he lifts the flag up and you know he's calling for Superman and the flag unfurls and you see the Superman logo on it, it's like, as you know exactly where it's going, but it's a moment that really shines when Superman saves the woman in the car from the building falling on her.
Yes.
And he floats above to make sure she's safe. And also we get this really beautiful silhouette. My jaw dropped. I was like, that was a beautiful moment. When
like if the whole movie could have been like that.
I think that's what I wanted. I was like, I didn't want to be told to be hopeful and be kind. I wanted to be like shown those moments. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, no,
and maybe people got that, but I just didn't, and that's on me. Whatever, you know. But yeah, I did just kind of walk away going like, man, that was kind of disappointing. Thankfully, on a second viewing, I did like have it raised my opinion a little bit more. I do think that, like I said, just the last thought is not just the James Gunn Superman, but I'm thinking about like, man, his hands are going to be all over all of these DC projects. And, you know, he has said that they're all going to be tonally different. And that's now my next thing. Like, let's see if that's true. Because if they're all trying to like replicate this feeling
tone,
I'm not going to be on board.
I mean, they at least have to piece in with this world, right?
Yeah.
Which is, you know, the MCU issue is just like, the directors get very little wiggle room to really. I mean, granted,
and I think that's good.
There are two projects working right now that kind of contradict that, with the Batman Part 2 and then the upcoming Clayface, which are, from what I understand, not a part of this world. So Clayface might be, you know what I mean? It's like he's leaving room for certain directors, certain talents to go about certain characters or IPs in their own way.
Yeah.
And this was very much just the James Gunn Superman.
Yeah. So, and again, that's just my personal opinion on it. Of course, walking out and then you read all of the reviews and it's like everyone fucking loved this movie.
Miguel, real quick, tell me what you think Empire gave it.
I assume, is it out of 5?
Yeah.
High, like 4.9. You know what I mean? They gave it a 2?
Yeah.
I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Wow. I was surprised because Eric, and I don't know if we're going to put it in the podcast, but Eric left a voice message on our Instagram. And I was surprised that he had some negative critiques about it. Because, I mean, you get on the internet and you would think this was the best movie of the year. And it's like, well, Sinners came out earlier this year. So
I want to say, nah, actually, I'll shut up for a minute. I've been talking way too much.
Not at all. I feel like I've been doing most of the talking now. Well, you know what? Let's give it to Luis. Let's see what he,
Yeah, and then we can let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Empire gave Zack Snyder's Justice League a 3.
Yeah, but that wasn't necessarily Zack Snyder's Justice League either. You know what I mean?
No. The Zack Snyder version, the Justice League version, got a 2.
Man of Steel got 4.
Got it. Oh, sorry. Only
interesting.
Now that you say that, that's the one thing I want to say is I was so disappointed the first time I watched this movie that I came home and I watched Man of Steel.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, how dare they make me go, oh, this Zack Snyder movie is so good. You know what I mean? I didn't want to come. That's not who I went
back to Superman Returns, but that's
I guess that's that's like the in between of the two. You know what I mean? Like J.J. Abrams was really trying to also do that version of Superman. You know,
that was Bryan Singer.
I'm sorry, I said J.J. Abrams. I meant
you did. I understand that honestly, but yeah. Anyway, Luis, let's hear it, man.
All right, guys.
Nope.
This is time for my review of Superman.
Oh shit!
We've heard from Ed. We've heard from Miguel. I actually love this episode so much because I feel like, well, I'll just say this. I loved this movie. I absolutely fell in love with this movie. Everything about it, I'm digging it. I'll say this is I watched it one time and then a 1 time and a half over here before I tried to watch this. And I think James Gunn just plays to my sensitive, like to my, like what I like.
Yeah.
He definitely, people say that he tonally is all over the place, but that's actually like my favorite style of like movies is like when I'm getting whiplash from like comedy to sensitivity to tension and things like that.
Sure.
He plays with sensitivity and comedy at the same place, which I feel like that's how I am. And so I think it's just for this place, like I always liked this movie super. And from then when I watched that, I was like, I'm a big James Gunn fan. So it's interesting to see how popular he's gotten, but I from the moment it began to the moment it ended, I was having a great time. And I would really consider this probably my favorite Superman out of like all the stuff and definitely top 10 in the DC. Let me go through my notes here because I have a lot of stuff, I guess, that I should say. Started away. I loved it. The second time, so I watched it the second time thinking it would like die away that first impression.
Sure.
But when it starts off immediately into the action, into the story, you know, right away, mezzanine scene, I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm getting off right now. And I just loved how we were just like caught in the middle and the story just started and we're in 2 hours and this guy's making it work quickly. And I'm just like, yes, dude, you know what's up. I like that. You know the assignment. We're here just for a Superman movie. I'm here to have fun. I understand story beats. Like, I just want to experience Superman as a character. The actors were fantastic. I love Rachel. I love David. Their chemistry was like off the charts. That scene when they meet up at the beginning in the apartment. Love. And this is another movie where I feel so happy I didn't see any, like, except for the first trailer. I'm so happy I didn't see any of the other trailers because that would have fucking ruined it for me. In the sense of like, I felt so much on the edge of my seat, like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And I didn't realize I didn't realize how political this movie was when I started watching it. I thought it was just like Lex Luthor, big guy, like, you know, big bads fighting each other. And then I realized like the whole political angle. I was like, oh, okay, well, let's go. And then it started getting interesting that way. And then the whole, I don't know. I just felt like I never knew what was going to come next. And this, I mean, I always know Superman's going to win, but I always felt that feeling of like, I don't know what's going to happen now. And that's like one of my favorite feelings in the sense where it's like, it feels, and maybe this isn't right. And maybe because I have recency bias, but it feels like we enter into different scenes and tones every like 20 minutes, like from the beginning to when his parents turn on him, to when we go to the interdimensional portal, to when we get out of it. It's like, those are all different color palettes that I really like being put together. and it feels like almost like an epic journey where you're going from place to place to place. I think it's fun. I like this. I think some of the set pieces are not like, I wouldn't say like a 10, but I thought some of them were fun. You can definitely see James Gunn's like flavor in the bubble fight, where like Rachel's like looking around. That's very Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 vibe, where it's just going from
like
place
a
to place.
Yondu scene.
Yeah, like a Yondu scene, exactly. And what's it called? What else did I wanted it to be? I wanted it to be human and vulnerable, and I feel like it achieved that. That's the only thing I said going into Superman. I was like, I wanted to be vulnerable and human, and it got that. And I like that Superman isn't perfect. I think the biggest thing with Superman for me is like he's unstoppable, he is perfect, and I find that to be at times, and something that I've gotten over recently. Like, oh, it's boring, but then I'm like, okay, it's we can find a creative way to do it. The fact that they're able to make him like not feel so big all the time really got me going. I was just like, and I feel like they did it in such a clever. I enjoyed the way that they limited him in the sense where the person that beat him was him. You know what I mean? The person, he was outed by people. You know what I mean? And he turned it himself in. I think he was just caught up into social situations that pinned him in a place of weakness. And the story cleverly got rid of kryptonite, and thank God it doesn't even exist. And that's how they were able to use that one guy, the Metamorphosis guy, to bring back kryptonite. Because I would have fucking hated it if it's like, well, I've created kryptonite on the side. You know, it's like, well, no, like you had to get this man to do it, and now the man's on his own, doing his own thing. So I like that kryptonite's out of the subject, and I think it appropriately, I don't know, limited him in a way that for me felt believable. I think there are some things I will like admit certain things that I found like weird, but like the whole turn that everyone had, like right when the news story went up, and it was like Superman came into this planet to conquer, which isn't a new concept for me, because in the TV show My Adventures with Superman, that's like the premise, like that's Clark Kent has come here to take over the planet. So when I heard it again, I was like, oh, I feel like this is like a thing that's becoming more and more canon, or like part of the world. But the fact how reactionary and immediate people were, they were like, get him, fuck him. I was just like, whoa.
The kids are crying and shit like that. Like, you don't even know what a harem is. What are you talking about?
They said the word harem. They said the word harem so many times.
I was like, whoa, okay.
And the way that they like 90-degree, like, and then they just started turning on him. I think that's like a very much like we're in a 2-hour story and we got to move kind of situation. And so I've forgiven that. And then the second thing, sorry, that I think I love the whole political angle that I didn't realize. And actually, I mean, this is what I don't know. Well, I feel embarrassed to say this. Okay, I feel embarrassed to say it. But like, you know, movies and the DC and comics are made to like speak out about what's happening in the world. And I've never felt more, I don't know, connected to what's going on in the world until I saw this movie. And I felt like just putting things in emotional tapestry was able to, context was able to help, because those things are so distant and far that you can't, and I have so much going on in my life, like just trying to survive, pay the bills. And it's like, I don't have time, sadly, like that's the situation of the world, to like worry about that stuff, because I'm just trying to move forward as well, you know, not to say I don't care about what's going on around the world, but it's just like, I'm barely functioning as it is. And so to see that in the movie and to hear him so clearly say, I was just trying to save them, and the guttural reaction that he said it to Lois, I was just like, yeah, I don't see what the problem with this in this movie. The only thing I had an issue with was, I think the guy, the villain of the country, I think they made him a little too like on the nose, sleazy. You know, I feel like you could have like
pro-Russian almost.
It just like his hair was
from Russia, but
just his hair was all dirty. Like he looked like he looked like a little schmuck. You know what I mean? And I felt like if you didn't schmuck him up, it wouldn't have been so. I don't know.
Is from a Triangle of Sadness.
You know, and I didn't like Bradley Cooper. I didn't like Bradley Cooper as the dad. That took me out completely. Really? I hated it. I felt like when he was doing the accent, I was like, bro, you got a terrible accent, even though it's a fake language. I was like, I couldn't buy it.
Language was bullshit. It felt like they were just like, hey, just start talking in what you think.
It sounded like you were, saying a language, and his mouth was still trying to speak English. It's like, bro, I did not like the Bradley Cooper casting.
I didn't mind so much the casting. I just think that those that whole situation, that whole subplot was just kind of almost like a throwaway. Like, I understand that it's supposed to be like Clark making his choice to be the person that he always thought he should be for planet Earth. I like that, but I felt like you were saying, that revelation of what they had actually intended for him coming out,
Yeah.
that it was jarring, because all of a sudden we were doing this and then we were doing that, but then also they just never go back to that. Really, they never discuss it further. It's just like a non.
Well, I feel like there's
It's
an
not like a
undertone of him being
non-issue, but-
ostracized the whole time, where he's not welcomed
Sure.
back into the world. So he
Right.
is isolated, and I think that's why it's done so early in the movie, is because at this point he doesn't really have any. He can't, like, him working with the Justice Gang is kind of like under the table, you know. Like,
Yeah.
no one really should be helping him, and that's kind of stripping of his power right from the get go, physically, socially, emotionally. This man is left alone, and he basically was going to die. And I think it doesn't act in the forefront as like a real issue, but it's definitely lingering in the background.
So
I think a lot of things could
I
be
think it
definitely
does, but
dealt
they
with.
just needed to elaborate on that a little bit more, and maybe just reference
And
it
I think a
little
lot
bit
of things
more.
can be elaborated, but I think then the movie would be longer, and I'd rather have
Well,
a shorter.
Yeah, by definition, I
runtime.
think I could have done with 5 or 10 more minutes of.
that's
just
interesting
a
because
little-
I hear that.
we've had this conversation with different movies where it's like we could have shaved 15 minutes off of that. You know
shave
what I mean?
15, added
Yeah.
15,
Yeah.
like it varies. I get it.
Hang on. I
but
have
I
a couple. I'm sorry. I have a couple of
Yeah,
really
go
quick
ahead,
things
go
that I
ahead.
want to say because you guys are moving so quickly, and I just want to be able to touch on a couple of them. There was one thought earlier on that Louis said that I'm now forgetting, so I'll try to come back to that. But I do want to talk about the reveal about the parents. I think the reason why we didn't talk about that more is because I don't think that's 100% truth or fact of that's really what happened. I think they're going to explore that in a future either movie or story. I think what's going to be revealed, there's a theory, but I do think this kind of is probable, is that they were like, the example I'm going to give is maybe this, maybe not, whatever. But like they were set up by Zod, you know what I mean? Or like set up by some sort of like council to like have this feeling, and they purposefully recorded the whole thing, and then like they damaged it to make sure he only heard like the first half of it, to never actually hear the full message. But they were like that's the theory, is that they were being like blackmailed into.
Can I respond to that?
Absolutely. I mean, again, I'm just repeating what I've read.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I can see that happening, and I think people always want to go back to like, oh, there's change, and I liked how it was, and it's fine too. I just think that there's more nutritional story value to their parents being like this. Like, this is somebody who has to change and be his own person, and and that he is different from his parents. If it's just like, you know, we're good parents, and then you're also good, and then you do good, and everything's just good, good.
And that could,
you know,
and that would undermine like what actually happens in this movie. So I understand what you're saying. Like,
yeah, and I feel like he'll always have that like chip on his shoulder. Like, oh, well, this is the guy who was meant to conquer the world and have a harem. Not to say like people actually care, but it is a thing where it's like, you know, if your parents are terrorists, then people are going to just kind of think about that from time to time. Not that they want to, but it just adds an interesting color to who he is.
I do want to mention. I do want to mention something real quick about the parents.
Yeah, that's it.
The one, and I know you guys are like, oh my god, Miguel, name one more thing you fucking hated about this movie. I personally did not like the Ma and Pa Kent. I didn't like the casting. I didn't like the direction that they went with it. Of course, the moment that the dad has with Clark is a good moment. But I just personally was like, I do not buy these people. Like, I don't.
Damn, I'm so opposite. It's crazy.
I get it. No, I understand. That's what I'm saying is I'm not.
And I'm in the middle.
I'm not going to be the one that's like.
No, it's fine. I think this is such a good litmus test of like how people just have certain idiosyncrasies or just like certain like ways of living.
Well,
it's just like,
I think I
it's
have
so
an
crazy.
issue. Like I don't like dumb characters. I get kind of annoyed with like ineptitude.
Are you talking about the mom?
A little bit, yeah.
In the phone scene?
And it's just like, I understand, but that's the other thing that I'd lead to that is that's like James Gunn humor. And it's like, every scene I wrote down like very early on in the movie. Sorry, at the end of the movie, I wrote this, that it felt like every scene had a joke. We're being funny here. And I'm just like, not everything needs to be funny. These can be characters that are like I didn't understand why they had to be like these country bumpkins. Like, although country bumpkins exist, you know what I mean? But it's like, it felt like they were like, I don't know. I did not quite love it. I did appreciate the end when he's like, I'm going to play the message from his parents.
Right.
And he says, and that was one of my favorite moments of the movie. So
I
even though
I know those, I know those parents because like I've been to my friend's house before, like who like somebody lives in Denton or whatever. It's just like I've seen those people and like in Texas, and so I don't know. It like
yeah. And I'm
His
not sitting
experience.
here saying that those people can't exist, or that they're bad or whatever. I just was like, I don't know. I didn't love it.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean that's like the way you want your plate to be served. It's so interesting how after this you were like, I wanted to see Man of Steel, and I felt so good after it. And like for me, like that is just like I do not want that, and I feel do not want that.
I think after the cynicism of the Snyderverse, I was like ready to embrace a more, like I said, a hopeful Superman. I know like a lot of the promotion of this film has been about hope and stuff like that, but I was ready for that. And like I mentioned, there's one element that I really appreciated through this is like, yeah, like there is a balance. I agree about what you should be shown and what you should be told about a certain character and what they should display. But I think one characteristic that they should display of Superman is him doing good and helping the everyday person. It doesn't have to necessarily always be saving the entire world or whatever, fighting the next supervillain. But like the fact that they took time, I know it is silly, it was done for a gag more so.
Well, how much saving the squirrel or something?
Saving the squirrel, but I kind of loved that about him.
I love that.
I loved that he,
the dog part, yeah.
when he goes to turn himself into the DOJ, he's just like, and he's kind of a bad dog, but he's alone
and scared,
and he like
and
I cherish that about I think that and sometimes it is a little on the nose, but I think again, Superman is not a subtle character, so
he's
I think
very not subtle in that sense where we know
I think
of him.
There's something, especially in the times that we're living in right now. It's okay to embrace that positive. Like let's remind each other what being a human being is all about. Like
no, see, I'm like hate everyone.
And if we're talking about that one moment when he's like, maybe kindness is punk rock. I want to say my experience in the theater was we laughed in the theater, but it wasn't like what a dumbass joke. I think it was like, it
was levity.
I don't know, like it was levity.
Sweet.
It was like, okay, that's kind of very silly, but also funny. Like I don't know. It's like
it
seems like he was also tongue in cheek in the situation too. He was. I don't think that was a very. Yes, it had a little bit of sincerity into it, but it was also like.
Because a lot of people would probably just scoff at that. Whoever said that, it doesn't matter if it was Superman, whoever. It's just like, saying that you love and you see everything as beautiful is like, what a dumb thing. Because not everything in this life is beautiful. Not everything is precious. But I think it is like a little, like to a degree, it is a little punk rock, and that's like almost like the James Gunn of it all.
It is. That's what he does. He plays with both. He's like, it's not punk rock, but kind of is. It's like
it
weird.
It's kind of punk rock.
He plays with
like,
both tones.
Like, these days, that's such a wild thing to come out and say. Is just like you love every. It's hard. It's so hard to see the beauty in everything.
Miguel's ready to explode.
I have so many things I want to say, but I don't want to step on anyone, so I'm letting it.
No, go ahead. Step on them.
Several things. Number one, the whole punk rock thing. I hated the credits when they started rolling. The moment the song played, I said, fuck you, James Gunn. Like, this is such a James Gunn. Like, he's older than us, and he's like, yeah, you know what? Like, he's like very Gen X, you know what I mean? Or slightly older, maybe.
I mean, we talked about it.
I'm in the middle of my thing, Ed. Just give me a second, okay? I promise I will.
I'm trying to agree with you. It's just like, we talked about it leading up to the release of this
Sure.
film is just like, I'm pretty sure I even said is like, I just don't want I don't want there to be a bunch of needle drops. I don't want the credits. I like, a part of me wants that like John Williams shit to keep. And there were a lot of moments throughout this film where I was just like, John Williams, please.
Expectations,
it was a mixed
right?
bag.
I know.
Yeah, John Williams is a lot more present than I thought he would ever be in this movie, to be honest.
But I would say,
no, absolutely. I felt that bubble moment with that song, whatever it was. I was just like, yeah, this is a fun moment, but it just feels out of.
I will also say that the credits only had 4 songs.
I swear to God, I'm gonna get my thoughts out, and then I'm gonna be done.
I'm done.
Just give me a quick second, okay? So I did come
and
around.
another thing.
Fuck you. I did come around to the punk rock song at the end. It did. The more I sat with it, and then I watched it again, I was like, okay, I appreciate this moment for what we're doing. Okay. There are things, even though I'm not a big James Gunn fan, and that's what I decided after this movie, there are some things that James Gunn can do well, because it's just like his sensibility. And it's like, so once I got over it, like the knee-jerk reaction, I was like, okay, I do like this a little bit more. It fits with the theme that they were setting up throughout the movie, okay? But it was a little jarring when it first started. I was like, ugh, okay. But what I was laughing about a second ago is, so the other day I was leaving lunch, I was getting in my car and I was driving back to my office, and in Colorado, people ride bikes everywhere. And I got stuck behind a guy on a bike, like at an intersection, and it was like, oh, you're kind of like, oh, get out of my way, guy, like I'm trying to drive.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I swear to God, he rode past me, like as I was turning on the road, he rode past me, and he was looking up at the sky, the big blue bright sky with the sun shining, beaming. He was literally smiling to no one. He was just like looking, and I remember, like, a part of me wanted to kind of make fun of him. You're being silly, you're being weird, like, just ride your bike and get to where you're going. Like, this is a thing that's to transport you from A to B. Like, how dare you experience joy? But then the more I thought about it, I was like, but who the fuck am I? Like, yeah, he was having a moment in his own life that was peaceful and quiet and solo and to himself, and he was happy. And that's was something I was thinking about just listening to you guys talk about this movie and reading about it. It's just like, I didn't love it. It had moments that didn't work for me, but like the people that are saying they genuinely experienced like joyfulness because of it, I think is a beautiful thing. And, it's not going to take away from that experience that I didn't necessarily care for it. I don't want to sit here and be like, this movie's terrible and you suck if you like it, because some people are doing that. But
people do that for everything now, I feel.
Exactly. And I'm just going to try to remember that guy riding his bike and being like, you know what, if it doesn't,
I love that.
I've been therapy, you guys. I'm in therapy. God, it's working. Okay. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes a guy's going to ride his bike and smile, and maybe that's not for me, but that moment wasn't for me.
He was flying.
He was flying. Yes.
F1 reference. Nice.
I loved it because I loved that movie too. It was so good. And I'll tell you what, this movie was 10,000 times better than Jurassic World. So, all right, I'll take that.
Well, there you go. That's a win.
It's so funny. I walked out of this movie and I was like, God damn, I got some bangers, because I watched F1 and this one. I'm having a good time with it. Like, I really came out beaming for this one. And I know y'all.
Yeah. No, I really did too. That's the thing. I think there are moments throughout where I felt myself just being, a little put off by the choices, I guess you would say. Especially, like I mentioned the Minecraft River. I was just like, this is just like slosh.
What?
I think there is, like, it is it's a victim of modern filmmaking. That's the word I had here.
I think
victim of modern filmmaking, where it's like it has to do, like, it came out in a year or whatever. It's like, if you gave this movie like time to work, then it wouldn't look like that. But I feel like even in this world, James Gunn made I'm going to shoot it this way, and like other Hollywood movies, they're like they're just like coverage, like, oh, just get a mid shot, this shot, cover, wide shot, boom, we'll figure it out in post. You know what I mean? Where here it's like maybe that the whole thing was like that, but there were like pockets of ooh, that's like a shot, and
I think,
but
no,
he still has.
I think there's those moments, and he's talked about his his affection towards the character, and I think that really does shine through in certain moments. I think there are just some choices, story action wise, that I just felt like when if this is a bad example, but just like if somebody gave you the opportunity, which James Gunn has admittedly given to himself, to make like the definitive Superman film for your franchise or whatever's going to happen after this. Like, this is the story. These like every choice that you made was the thing that made you think, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
The fucking Minecraft river and shit like that. I don't know. I like obviously I would have gone a different direction, but that's just me. And
It does feel very comic booky in that sense, where it's like
I think yes,
all that stuff is very
that's
much
also
like
where this movie very much wins. Like towards the end when he's having his face off with the clone Ultraman or whatever.
Loved that
like
reveal.
Bizarro.
I thought that
It's
was
basically
great.
Bizarro.
Yeah.
And he beats him down, and then he faces the raptors. But like every like the camera motion that suddenly like swoops by, but then focuses on the Superman symbol on his chest before moving on. And
You liked that or didn't like that?
I did like that. Those Superman flourishes, that comic book flourish, the punch with the tooth flying.
We can all agree about that one shot in the clouds where he's just like there in the sky.
So
My
beautiful.
jaw
Beautiful. That
dropped.
was a really great shot.
I loved that moment. And the woman looking back, tears rolling down her face because she almost died, but
that
also
moment was
because
impactful.
she's like there. So many of those moments he nails.
You have
I feel
some of those moments you have feelings. You're like,
so
oh, I'm
much
sad.
intention
Or,
behind
oh,
it.
look at these love. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. Or just like, damn, thank God he saved her, kind of thing. Like, and damn, how epic is that frame right there? I love the shots where like it's a little oversaturated at times, but when almost like J.J. Abrams, whatever. Sorry,
There you go.
Abrams. I'm sorry. Where like you're in Lex Luthor's perspective, and then you see like the dot fly by the window,
Or
towards the end when he's flying towards him.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, oh, I love that. That's kind of like a really nice touch.
So
And
for me, and I swear to God, I'm not trying to like I'm kind of like, this movie was kind of cranked to the opposite end of the spectrum. Like they were like, we're not Man of Steel Superman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yes,
And for me, I just wish it would have pulled back just a little bit on that and met somewhere, not necessarily in the middle. You know what I mean? In between those two, it still could have been cranked towards the James Gunn, but it was just like some choices. I was like, okay, this is like really cranked in this direction. I thought the action scenes where the camera was doing a lot of swooping, to me, I was like, I don't know. It just didn't hit the way I wanted it to. It's like, I don't know.
There's a lot of VFX action, so you don't feel grounded at anything.
I don't.
So you feel very loose.
Yeah,
exactly. I think in that situation,
and
he
it's
did.
all moving so quickly too.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh,
I think he did the
freeze?
best he could with that. Like, I feel like he's given like 20 pieces, and he has like 100 holes to fill, and he's like, okay, figure out where you want to put those pieces at, and everything else has to economically make sense, and we have to do it.
Those pieces.
Well, no, because I mean, he also has to make money for Warner Brothers. You know what I mean? David Zaslav also expects, so he can't give himself a $500 million budget. He has to realize, like, listen, I expect this movie to make 300 million or 400 million, so I need to set the budget at this length, which means I can only create these certain scenes and I can only do this amount of stuff. Like, I think they are aware of the reach of what this movie can make.
The Minecraft river and shit like that.
I don't mean to sound ignorant.
Blowing money into shit like that.
What is this reference you're making? This Minecraft?
The interdimensional thing where the interdimensional pool is the river.
Where they the river that they literally are drowning in.
It's like the Proton River.
Got it. I'm sorry. I just was like, you keep saying Minecraft, and it's like,
well, it's all cubey. It's all just
very cubey.
Very cubey.
Like the whole, yeah.
Can I talk about something I didn't like? How about
Hell
that?
yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it.
My espresso is filled, dude. Let's go.
I fucking hated when Mr. Terrific came in with the Justice Gang and he's like this flying in. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
I was just like, oh god.
It was the most silliest fucking thing I've ever seen. And the fact that he kept such a serious face throughout all that, I was like, I don't want this. And I've seen Mr. Terrific. I'm getting loud. I've seen Mr. Terrific in other shows, okay, with that fucking T on his face. Yeah. I hate it. I don't like it. And I don't ever want to see that again. And you know what? He said, I looked in the mirror. I'm getting loud. I looked in the mirror and he said, "Oh man, I'm a superhero." I was like, "No, you look like a dick." I hate Mr. Terrific's thing. Like, it's the worst. I don't like it, and so I don't like you
Like
coming
just
in like
his
this,
look,
like
or you
fucking
didn't like
MODOK.
his character the whole time?
No, I love the
look, it sounds
character.
like.
I think the character. I think he was a great
Okay.
actor. I think everything that he did was fantastic.
Can I tell you this?
And but he's
I think the
attached.
whole hero of a Justice Gang looks stupid as a whole.
You're kind of right, though. You are kind of right.
I would say this is, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is like the one thing that I really liked about the movie. I
Him
liked
flying
him.
like this,
No, I understand. But like his
and then he's
look,
like he flicks his balls into that
Bro,
guy. He's like,
settle
yeah.
down, settle
Like,
down,
come on.
settle
I was
down.
like, dude. At first, okay. Honestly, can I say something? Sorry, one more thing. I thought they were about to be like, oh, this character's handicapped, so he's flying in like that. And then I started seeing him walking. I was like, oh, well, then why the hell are we doing? Like, I thought it was like this,
well,
like,
he can't fly, you know. And
okay, well, why are you like this?
Not me about to undo everything I just said and be like, well, actually, James Gunn has great ideas. Okay,
He's flying like this is the silliest
because James
shit,
Gunn
okay?
is going. First off, Superman is flying. The architect or the engineer, whatever they call her, she has the nanotech in it. She gets boosters. Everyone can't have boosters. Everyone's got to look a little different. You know what I mean?
Right.
If they're gonna fly, she's got wings. Hawk Girl's got wings. Guy Gardner,
He looks like he looks like he's in an invisible chair. Like, what?
And
The
I understand, but that's the thing is he's saying, how can we differentiate all of these things? It's the silhouette. When Batman shows up with the ears, you go, that's
silhouette.
Batman.
That is not a silhouette. You're
But
not
when
going to
he's sitting
like,
in the chair, you go,
that's
that's Mr. T. I would say this though. I initially in the trailer, I almost said commercial, like it's the 90s. In the trailer, I was like, I don't love the T on the face. I think that looks silly. But the more I
didn't
saw
even
him,
associate that it was a T on his face. Honestly, I just thought it was a way of. That's my dumbass.
The more I saw it, I was like, I kind of understand it. And then when I started seeing him in other iterations, I was like, well, he's got a T on his fucking face. If Batman didn't have the ears, you would go, he looks fucking stupid.
Listen, he is not a main hero that anybody knows, and so there are thousands of superheroes. So this artist was like, well, what am I going to do to differentiate him? Let me put a fucking T on his face.
Oh, like the original artist, you mean?
The original artist, yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, the Justice Gang is literally there for. I mean, first off, it was like they got the hand-me-downs from the Guardians.
Right.
You know, they just bleached it white or whatever.
They were white, yeah. It's funny. Their suits were white.
But it was like made just to introduce these very obscure characters. Which
is what James Gunn does, and that was
which is what he does.
You know,
I thought Hawk Girl was like just wasted.
Like
Not that I had any expectations for her, but like we didn't need her either. You know
but Hawk Girl
I mean?
has been around. She's been in other.
I understand that. I understand
sorry.
But if you're gonna do that, introduce her better. Use her.
It's not her movie.
It's not her movie, but having all these characters kind of diminishes the movie that it's supposed to be about.
That I agree with.
I feel like Hawk. I keep wanting to say Hawk Tour Girl. That's on me. I'm sorry, but I know it's not it. But yeah, she comes in and she's screeching. I was just like, man, if I was Isabela Merced, I'd just be like, this is fucking dumb, man.
She did Madam Web.
A paycheck, so she's fine.
She did Madam Web, so there's like, this is gonna be better than that.
She did not do Madam Web, did she? She was one of the girls in Madam Web.
Yeah,
I don't remember that at all. That movie. Was
hey, let's just put Isabela Merced in fucking everything.
No, she's on the rise. I would say this. Hang on. To your point though, I just want to say when Zack Snyder did fucking Batman versus Superman, his whole idea for that movie was we don't have to do what Marvel's doing with like 5, 6, 7 movies to Justice League. To the Avengers, we can backdoor a lot of these characters by putting them in Batman versus Superman, and then we can kind of jump to Justice League. And everyone hated that. No one wanted that. Everyone was like, that's the wrong decision. You think about Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire, that's too many characters in this movie. But when James Gunn does it, all of a sudden it's okay. But it's like, no, that's the same issue. There's too many characters that were.
I think Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think it's established at the very top when it says 3 centuries ago.
I didn't like
metahumans came in, and I think that's.
But then you only introduced the 3 metahumans.
Where are the other metahumans? What is going on? You know,
you're right about that, but I think I like that right away. It's like, listen, there are fucking superheroes around here. Just get over it. You know what I mean? Like right away when it said it, and so it's just like when we go into it, I don't have to do a whole origin story. I don't need to know your background. I know who you are.
I'm not even
NPCs. You are NPCs in the background for my main story of Rachel, Corenswet, and Hoult. You know what I mean?
The whole thing, though, is, again, it's cranked to the opposite degree. He was like, I'm not going to do an origin story, and everything audiences are going to just understand, and we're just going to start from the jump. But it's like, but none of these characters, I think a lot of the side characters for me didn't really have like an arc. They were just NPCs in this. Like,
and I'm fine with it.
The whole Daily I see, not so much, because why are they there?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to get from that? The whole Daily Planet
background
crew,
they're like just the world.
But the Daily Planet crew was in this like featured moment of the whole movie, and it's like, but they didn't really do anything. And they like every one of their dialogues.
What do you mean featured moment?
Weren't they like flying around in that spaceship? You know what I mean? Like
at
the end, and they were helping.
He was like, "Where's my chair?"
Like, and it's like, and it's just like,
that was a great gag. But you don't know that guy's name.
I just did not think that any of them, like the hot girl on the Daily Planet crew, it's like, what is she doing here? You know?
That was a pointless character.
And that felt like, James, are you just kind of doing something for yourself there, buddy? Because it's like,
I feel like you could have taken her away. You could have taken
the guy from SNL away.
But then it becomes a thin. It just becomes a thin world with like, where's everybody?
I just think there's
it's the
a little bit.
Movie. It doesn't have to be this big world building thing, and that's what James Gunn does. It's like, I'm world building, but it's like, we could just focus on like the small moment of this. It doesn't have to be an origin story, but we could still be more focused.
It doesn't have to be an origin story. I think that you just have to give time.
Can I make a food example?
Go, sure.
I swear to God, if you say like burger and steak and shit,
no, it's not that. Okay, go to an Italian restaurant. All right, what's the biggest order thing everybody loves ordering? They love ordering spaghetti with marinara. Okay,
sure.
And you get somebody else who's like, I want a fucking fettuccine with a creamy Alfredo.
Go ahead.
And they're like, you know what? You know what should be on there? Fucking tomato sauce. Get the creamy Alfredo out of there. And this guy's over here is like, no, actually, that's what I like about it. And then this guy's like, no, tomato sauce needs to go on that. And what I'm trying to say is that people have different tastes. And then I think that people like movies shouldn't serve everybody. Movies should serve like only a small like people, you know, and that's what
I'm
makes.
I'm gonna say it right here. I really hate it when you guys go on these food analogies. It's infuriating because it doesn't apply.
No, I agree on this one, actually, Ed.
I mean, the fact that you're so I'm being
talking about getting Luis.
Ed,
when you,
I actually genuinely feel so sincerely attached to the food analogy that I do feel attacked when you say that. I'm gonna say it right now.
We're talking about the beginning of Alien Romulus. You were so caught up on the lack of exposition and stuff like that. Like you said, it took you out of it.
Damn.
Yeah, because the actors were bad, so I couldn't get any information from their acting. Okay. And here, their acting was good, and so I got a lot of stuff from just their performances. Their performances was storytelling, and they were telling
everything
me
you needed from Isabela Merced and that one girl from the planet, the Daily Planet, and the.
Don't like the reason why if I like a certain if I have a certain taste, and yes, food can be equally attributed to this. All right, if I have a certain taste where a movie or a certain taste for food, just because I like that food, just because I like that movie, doesn't mean that everybody should have that same feeling.
No, I'm not.
The point that you're saying,
I don't think anybody of us is saying that.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
think there's something to be said about the development of certain characters who are just pushed in here, like Miguel was saying, just because James Gunn.
I'm also saying that's a fucking flavor.
I first off, I see what both of you are saying, okay? And Luis, I think that we're not arguing that this is not your flavor or that it's an inappropriate flavor of movie, okay?
I don't think that's what we're talking about as a whole. We're talking about the ingredients.
It's an ingredient thing.
Why is red dye in here? It shouldn't be. Or why are you using corn syrup when you could just use sugar?
Okay, I'm going to give it to the marinara on the different pasta. Okay, that's okay. That's your taste. That's the movie as long as you taste it that way. But like now we're also throwing in carrots, and it's like, okay, carrots don't belong in this dish at all. But you know what else doesn't belong in this dish? I don't know, fucking toenails. And it's like, okay, well, hang on a second. None of these things go together at all. So it's not just it's hey, I like white sauce, you like red sauce, and therefore I just didn't
remember that analogy about the guy who was biking, and you were like, why is this fucking guy smiling?
No, I know.
Why just go to work?
But that's not what I'm saying in this moment. I'm trying to give you the
and to that guy's like, the sky's
analogy.
Beautiful.
I know, and I'm like, that looks like toenails. Okay, so. No, I think we're losing the thread here. I think what we're all saying is we all have different tastes, and that's fine. But there's also parts of this that aren't working, and that's okay. You know what I mean? So let's move on. What a great.
I
what a great
apologize.
episode.
I wasn't trying to
I do think
attack
that
you personally, Luis. I do think there is something to be said for the extent of what he is trying to squeeze into this film that just almost it does just feel like a throwaway for the sake of having let's have Hawk Girl in there for
right,
2 seconds.
and
Let's have
I think
Supergirl at the very
right.
end. I don't think that's like necessarily a taste. I think a lot of people are just going to be like, "Oh,
I
who the
find that
fuck is that character?"
I personally really liked it. I felt like it colored the world, and I didn't need to know more about this person. Like that's just what it is. And like you guys can have an opinion about it, and I'm gonna have this opinion about it, and that's just what's gonna be.
That's fair.
Like,
I think that's
and the fact that he
100%
did
fair.
that is what I liked about it. And that's the thing. It's just like I can go like I have ADHD, so I love analogies. Okay, not every building has to look the same.
Do it
Okay.
again. I love it.
You know what I mean? Some of them
Yeah.
are going to look fucking crazy, like a weird artistic thing, and you're like, "Well, what's the purpose? Where's the support beam? Where's this thing? Why is that there?" And then
But
you
that
look
building
like
should
"That's
have a
the fu-"
support beam, though.
and you're like, "Well, that's the fucking point. It's just supposed to visually stimulate you. It's not supposed to actually hold certain people."
Like the
I'm not
girl
saying
with
that's not a
tits hanging
perfect
out
analogy.
should
That's not a perfect
visually
analogy. I'm
stimulate
just
her.
saying that certain buildings serves different purposes.
I get you.
Different movies serve different
Different
purposes.
vibes.
Different restaurants serve different purposes. And I think people just like certain
No, I
things.
see. I understand that. I'm just talking about character development and stuff
I understand,
like that.
but what I'm saying is like
But no, you're talking about broad strokes of like, yes, people
yes.
do enjoy different movies differently. Absolutely, that is just a cold.
but I'm
hard
not saying
fact.
not every
People
character
enjoy
needs to be have
different
character
food
development
differently.
is what I'm saying.
I
I
agree
don't
with
think
you,
every
but there's
character
also
needs a
no
big
point.
arc. You know what I mean? But they,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
the characters
I don't
in the
think-
story, they
yeah.
should serve some purpose other than just
Right.
set dressing, right?
I like the mess set dressing.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So but if they act poorly, I do not like the mess set dressing. I think at that point, then you cut them out. I think that's when acting comes and saves the day and fills in between the lines. And I do genuinely feel that. Like if a performance will help flesh out a script that may feel incomplete, and then an actor will just add to it. But I mean, I think at this point, we've all made our say.
We'll get down to a whole different.
And I'm so glad that I came into this episode saying I'm going to be so quiet because
I love that.
in another
You're
world,
not
Can I tell you what
I
the
would have
bet
been
was?
so loud.
Can I tell you what the bet was? Can we wrap up on this thought real quick?
It's the 2 beers. If you liked it, I would get you 2 beers.
And if I didn't,
And if you didn't like it, you give me 2 beers.
No, if I did
No,
not
it's the
like
opposite.
if I did not like this movie,
Yeah.
you would get me 2 beers. If I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
like it, I would get you 2 beers. And
Right.
I just want to say that I was not thinking about that while I was watching the movie. I completely forgot about that bet. It wasn't until 2 days after I had scheduled this text that we even mentioned it. And I was
Baby,
like,
I've been thinking about that bet for
I had
every day.
forgot. So I only say that because it's like I did not like this movie, but that wasn't me going into it going, I'm gonna get my fucking 2 beers. All right.
No, yeah.
So
I love it. I'll
Yeah.
get you your 2 beers.
All right. I love that.
They'll be tall boys. They're going to be 32 ounce each. Hazy.
32 ounce hazy.
Eight-
You could
8.8% of
Oh,
alcohol, baby.
I go 10. I don't care, baby. Let's do it.
I also have one more thing I wanted to put in this note. In this, did I really turn off my phone? Okay. When I was watching this movie, there's one thing that came to my mind, and you may disagree with me, and that's fine because humans are different. You know who would have been really cool as Lex Luthor?
Who?
Lex Luthor. When I was watching him going off and off and off, I was
Yeah.
like, God damn. Tom Cruise as Lex Luthor would have been fucking slapped. And I'm going to send you guys a picture of it because I was able to generate a photo of it. And I was
Hold-
like,
Tom Cruise. I was about to say, I don't think he would ever shave his head.
1000%. Ed. This was just like a thing that I thought up. This would never happen. But
Can
in
I
my
tell you-
mind, it would fucking slap and he would be an amazing villain.
Can
He
I
would
tell
never
you-
do it. But I fucking
I don't necessarily 100% agree with it.
yeah,
But you know
it's
what
fine.
I really like about it though is that
Mhm.
he's older than Superman. There was something about them being so close in age
Yeah.
that I was like, "Hey man, get over yourself." Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you know what else it is like I feel like Lex Luthor, like Tom Cruise would have instilled this level of charisma, especially when he went to the news sites,
Yeah.
like on TV.
Yeah.
Like Tom Cruise like would have had this like human charisma. It's like, you can trust me. I'm human. I'm so happy. You know what I mean? But he also has a little bit of a chip of his shoulder because he is older and he is a
Yeah.
little bit egotistical.
I think
And
the
so
generational gap would have been definitely added to that
The weight
conflict.
of it all.
That
Yeah.
was one thing I was also saying is like, I enjoyed Nicholas Hoult as
oh,
Lex
1,000.
Luthor.
Oh,
We
totally.
haven't
But
talked about it that much, but I did like him. A lot of the time, not a lot of the time, there were some times I caught myself thinking like, it would have. How would you have been a Superman? Because we all know, like, obviously he auditioned for Superman,
He would
Batman, all of that,
have
all of these
been
roles that he keeps
a
losing out.
better
But I thought he did
Batman.
really good. Huh?
whoa, over what's his name? Robert Pattinson?
No, but I think I mean that if you thought about between Batman and Superman, his auditions, if in a world where Robert Pattinson and David Corenswet weren't either one of those people, if they were both Nicholas Hoult in this scenario, he would have been a better Batman than he would have been a Superman because the mask would have done a lot of work for him. Whereas like Superman, he's open. Like I think obviously they don't look alike, but the Matt Reeves batsuit would have worked for him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
to some extent.
I don't think so, but I like that you think that. I like that you like it, and I'm being sincere, and I'm not trying to be like a dick.
No, I get.
You know what I mean?
It's okay, that's fine. That's fine. We should end the episode. We should end it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Ed, were you gonna say something?
What are you gonna say?
No. I literally just like putting a cap on like Nicholas Hoult. I thought you did. I thought you did good in this. I do kind of love that idea of Tom Cruise. Like, I feel like Tom Cruise would be a great villain. Not
Just
only
watch
in
it
this
again and think
franchise.
of Tom Cruise.
We've talked about it. I know, right? Yeah, like those moments where he's like
that fucking intensity that Tom brings.
Well,
oof.
And what's great is like him being slightly older or being older. It's like playing with that like father dynamic as well. Like imagine someone who is like who could potentially in a world where Lex Luthor is a good person could be a father figure to Clark Kent or Superman, but because he's so awful, it's like he cannot. He just like is so bad. I love the idea of an older Lex Luthor to Superman, Clark Kent Superman.
In 20 years when AI gets really good, I'm replaced. And I love Nicholas Hoult. And I'm saying, and I am so happy that he's in it. But just for my own, like, I want to see what.
Like I said, I'm not like 100% on board, but I'm not like.
I would say watch it again with him in mind when he gets intense.
I get it. I get the choice. I think it works, and it would win me over.
This image is fascinating. Would we get sued if we use this?
We're posting it, baby. Sued by who? We are 236 followers.
Tom Cruise.
Okay, 230 followers. No one cares about us.
236. That's a great number.
Shout out to you.
In a room, that's a big ass room.
I know. Thank you so much. I do think about that analogy a lot when I'm every time I heard spiraling.
When I heard it for the first time, I was like, I'm going to hold on to this for.
I will say this. All right, and I'm trying to bring this home as kind of like a way of an apology to Louise because I feel like we got off the wrong track here. But when I came out of it the second time, I was thinking to myself, when you guys were talking about the hamburgers and shit with the Flash, and like going to see the Flash was like getting that fast food movie or whatever.
Okay, nice pun, Ed.
I was just like, I want to. This movie was what made what I thought you guys were trying to make me feel about that movie.
Interesting.
And that, like, I found this really enjoyable. It didn't necessarily hit the, the dramatic heights of maybe what I just had in my mind of what Superman should be. But I genuinely enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was sincere in what it was doing, and it was that kind of like summer movie blockbuster that didn't for me disappoint. I said like my experience the second time around wasn't as strong as the first time around, different energies in the room kind of thing. But then the third time, I was still like really, enjoying it. Like I didn't necessarily have a bad time with this film, and I want to definitely impress that or push that is that I enjoyed this film. I think it has some issues. but you take away what you take away
Oh
from
yeah,
it.
it's not a perfect.
But overall, like I said, I think it really just like nailed the tone that it was going for. I think it brought Superman back to this hopeful sense of, unity, and it just, like the fact that like his victory in this movie isn't singular, it's everybody winning, like the crew at the Daily Planet coming together to bring down Lex through the media, and then the Justice Gang coming in at Bulvania or whatever the fucking place is, showing up there to help him out, even though previously they said, we don't want to get mixed up with that.
The story did make me think that Superman was somehow miraculously going to show up there. Like,
I did too. I was just like, how is he going to split? It's like in the very first Donner movie where it's like, how is he going to get to both sides to both missiles at once?
It's like, it's an editing thing. Like, actually, it happened in the past or whatever. You know what I mean? Or in the
like
future.
He already took care of that problem.
Yeah, something like that.
But no, it was actually just the idea and the spirit of Superman that brought people together to fight the bad stuff, which I just kind of loved about this film. And for that, if anything, just the feeling alone, that won me. So far, best superhero movie this year. Or is that controversial? I don't know.
I don't know if there's any other superhero movie this year.
Yeah, I was just
you got Thunderbolts and
Thunderbolts.
Captain America.
Oh, Captain America. That's right. Okay.
Well,
and we've got Fantastic Four coming up, but like
Winter Soldier. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is coming out during Comic-Con, which next week I won't be actually on this podcast because I will be in Comic-Con, unfortunately. So I fucking hate. I don't want to go this.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
What do you not say? What?
I don't know. Whatever you're gonna say.
No, I was just gonna say I'm gonna see Fantastic Four. I fucking hate how Marvel always puts their movie during Comic-Con because then it's like I can't see it and it makes it like it's annoying.
I thought you were gonna be like, I fucking hate like my job and like having to go to Comic-Con. I was like, careful. Don't get fired. You know what I mean?
No. I'm just saying it's just like I'm just saying like on Thursday evening I'm gonna go see. We got a group going to go see Fantastic Four. Nice. If I have my reactions, maybe I'll like. Well, I was gonna say I'll send them to you, but I'm the one editing it, so it doesn't matter.
What an episode!
Yeah, but next week, what an episode next week. We're gonna review. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm just kidding. That movie is that movie coming out this Friday?
Eddington is, yeah.
God damn! I wish there's more marketing.
We'll just do 2 Pedro Pascals next week.
Oh, shit,
Eddington. Yeah, check out Eddington. I mean, yeah, Ed, that's amazing. If you want to, I mean, Miguel, are you interested in that movie? I don't know.
Yeah. I came home and I showed my wife that trailer. I was like, look at this. This was really good.
There you go. You guys could talk about Eddington next week.
I do. I mean, yeah, I am planning on seeing it. So that's next.
Yeah, it's a little confusing because our podcast comes like a week after. You know what I mean? So we're always a week delayed.
The week we're talking about this week, it's Eddington.
Ha!
Whoa.
I'm back. Sorry.
So,
well, now I'm seeing 2 of you. What the fuck?
Yeah, we're seeing 2 of you. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, the reason why we do that is because I don't want to be like, it's Thursday. Y'all got to see the movie now because we got to do the podcast on Friday and then release it on Friday. And then it would not be sustainable, you know? So,
right.
Life's too busy. What an episode. Guys, do you think I should stay this quiet for the next episode? Well, no, hold on. Before I say anything, Ed, your microphone sounds so good.
I mean, all credit to Sarah and her company.
It's going to make the editing so much easier. You're not going to be peaking. I'm going to love it. I feel like we're like really completed. Like
our journey.
Us. You sound great.
Yeah, I didn't buffer at all, at least on my end. Like nobody buffered over here.
In fact, I buffered more than anybody today. So, Ed, you were amazing. Just praising
again.
Ed.
Also,
Miguel, praise Ed. Say something nice about Ed.
I've known Ed for almost 20 years of my life, and I've said thousands of nice things to him.
20 years? That's 2 decades.
I don't need to be performative right now and say something nice.
Performative.
He knows exactly how I feel. Even if I said something mean to him right now, in his heart of hearts, I assume, maybe I'm wrong, Ed knows exactly how I feel about him.
20 years.
Well,
guess that's true
I
of my
also
friends
am
too,
the only
huh?
one not in therapy in this group, so I just need to,
I mean, you're fine.
I take everything personally, obviously.
We all
So-
take everything personally in this group, but that's okay. We also love each other too. We also know that each one of us loves each other, and in the end,
I think
we
so.
never mean any harm. We're just
No, we really don't. We really don't. And you know what? I fucking love food, and I love food analogies.
Shut the fuck up. It's fine. Listen, I had a
I
moment,
regretted
and
it the
I'm gonna,
moment I said it.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clip that out for my therapist and be like, analyze this. Tell me what I did wrong.
She'll
You
be
know
like,
what I
I
mean?
don't have to. You already know.
You already know. All right, let's turn on
Is that all they
the.
do?
Let's put on the sounds. I'll go left, right, and then breathe. All right. How'd that make you feel? Tune in next week. We're going to talk about Eddington. I won't be here, but I think next week I'm going to try to do stories of Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, okay.
But to be honest, again, it feels like it's the same thing over and over. So I will do my best to capture some fresh stuff that's happening at Comic-Con. But until then, it's been me, Luis Gonzalez, and with me's been
Miguel Sanchez.
And Deadpool.
And until next time, later, Gators.